It's gonna kick in any second now. All
So
right.
wait, Chris, you said you hit the button?
I did hit the button.
What happened?
The button is live.
I hit the button and then it goes, "Are you sure you want to hit the button?" And then I had to click that. So there's always a delay.
That's kind of like when you lost your virginity. It's like, do you want to hit that button? You're like,
are you sure? I don't know.
No, I don't think that happened.
All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? Yeah, how was everyone's Halloween?
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the...
In Chris's defense, Rob signed on literally 2 seconds ago, so it really throws you off.
Why?
Just pops.
Why does it throw you guys off?
Because we're all prepared. We're going without Rob. We're going without him, right? And then all of a sudden he shows up.
I'm going to be here. Like, what the hell?
He'll show. If he doesn't show, he'll message.
Yeah.
So anyways, hey guys. So how was the Halloween, guys? Did you?
Halloween was canceled. No,
was it?
No, man, it was good. I'm still eating candies. Yeah,
I know Halloween was on at Jimmy's house. I don't know if you guys saw the viral picture of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man outside his house with a whole bunch of tentacles. So if you live up in that area, you probably saw Jimmy's house from the from the highway or whatever. It's pretty funny. So shout out to Jimmy.
Wow. No, I didn't see that. You should distribute that picture, John.
Oh, I don't know how much he wants to get out there on social media.
But you just said it's out there.
It's out there, but yeah.
You even said the words, it went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, amongst my friends.
Oh, okay.
Viral amongst John's.
You'll probably see it. You'll probably see it coming up. It'll be like, look, check out this guy's Halloween setup. But yeah. Anyways, Rob went trick-or-treating for sure.
No, I did not go trick-or-treating. Although my kids, while they're at school, their bags of candy are on my table. And I go, what treat am I going to have today? But I equally take as many from each bag so as not to feel like I'm giving personal treatment to others. I'm just like, okay.
So you're not stealing all of it from one child.
No favoritism in Rob's.
No. Halloween is going to buy candy the day after, is it not?
Yeah, but you can't find that shit, man.
It's all on sale, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't.
No,
most
just
of that
buy
places...
Coffee Crisp. Everywhere, people still have Coffee Crisp, and nobody likes Coffee Crisp. I went to Shoppers.
I bet you we could send a bucket of Coffee Crisp to our friends in the States, like Scott. They would be down.
Yeah. Scott says I owe him money because he didn't like Dune, and so maybe we'll just pay him in Coffee Crisp.
Coffee Crisp.
He didn't like Dune. What?
No.
Wow.
But you know what? I heard a lot of people. I was listening to a podcast today. That's not affiliated with this podcast.
Not the Heroes World podcast. Okay.
And they were saying that people who were watching on HBO Max and then who then said, "Oh, I'm going to go to the theater," were like, "I'm glad I went to the theater because just watching it at home, it was definitely a theater experience to see it as opposed to being at home."
Well, you really
because
have to
of the distractions.
When you watch at home, you have to be like, I'm turning my phone on silent. I'm putting it over there. I'm watching this movie. Nobody interrupt me. You really have to commit if you're going to watch it at home, which is hard to do.
Yep. So maybe Scott's opinion would have changed. I don't know. Oh, do you want to start the show?
That's
Chris?
a good amount of. I think that's a good amount.
Are we doing a show? I thought we were just
let's
shooting
start
the shit.
Show. Let's start the show.
So, question.
All right.
Are you going to make a new one every week, Chris?
No, that's just what I had in my head.
Dude, I like that. That was very 80s, man.
It's cool. Yeah.
It's very Tron.
That was the point. Yeah,
Jesse said the same thing, Tron.
All right, guys, welcome to So What I Miss, our weekly news show where we search the internet far and wide to find the news that should matter to you, and we get our hot panel's reaction, I guess. Hot takes, I guess, is what I wanted to say. I just called you guys hot, so
thank you.
I'm your host, Chris, and this is my co-host / producer, Pat. What up, Pat? And we have our esteemed panel, the co-hosts of the Sidekick Show and the Heroes World podcast, Rob and John. Say what's going on, guys.
What's going on, guys?
Howdy, folks.
Every week.
So we did talk about we did talk Dune a bit in the pre-show, I guess. So we'll just continue talking about it now. So for the second straight week, Dune takes the top spot in a rather deflated weekend box office, still able to take the top spot despite dropping a whopping 62.4%. If Pat could bring that up anytime now.
Any day
There was a
now.
little bit of lag. My computer lagged after I heard the Tron music, so it's kind of like in a
Yeah. So essentially, yeah, I think this is probably due to HBO Max. People just the word of mouth spreading and people just watching it through that. I would think for this huge drop off this week. We did talk about Dune a lot. Let's move on. Let's move on to what comes up this week. So there's a big release coming. It's the Marvel's Eternals, predicted to take about 75 mil and the top spot at the box office. Now, I guess that's considered somewhat successful, 75 mil if it does that, or maybe even over that. But the net buzz is so far that the reviews coming in are very mixed for this. Now, this is critic reviews, not audience reviews. A Rotten Tomato score currently, buzzing, just to take from the chat, buzzing around 51%. Wow. So not only is it the lowest Marvel movie ever, I guess it's going to be historic in the sense that it could... it could be the first negatively reviewed Marvel film of this new MCU.
A score typically reserved for the Sony division or the
or DC. Yeah. So
yeah.
now Marvel has it. Like I said, DC is probably used to this, but Marvel is not used to this kind of critic panning. What do you guys think of this? Is it affecting your desire to go see this movie? I know Rob has his tickets already bought, but is it affecting your other guys or anything like that? Or is it curbing your expectations, perhaps?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I was telling Pat earlier, if we don't go see it this weekend, I suspect we will not go.
What do you think about that, Pat?
I certainly hope these 216 reviewers, half of them are wrong or something. Because I would be very disappointed if this movie was actually just a 51%. Now, I'm not actually sure what 51% means. Like,
it means half the critics didn't like it, Pat.
Give a negative review. Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is, it's not like it's like 50%. You got a 50%. Like if a 70% does it mean 70% of the critics liked it or not, right? But if that's the case. Well, I mean, if I watch it with John, then the numbers say one of us will hate it, one of us will like it.
Who's it gonna be?
Again, this is just critic score, right? So a lot of these types of movies have a tendency to have a low critic score and then like a high audience score, things like that. Typical, not typical with Marvel, but typical with like this genre of movie. Rob, is this something that Marvel should be concerned about? Do you think this is going to have some ramifications as maybe a sequel or any kind of taking chances going forward?
Well, listen, they're 20 something movies in. You're not always going to hit home runs, but you have to take chances. And because they are 20 something movies deep, they can take a chance. You're also dealing with property that is very obscure. And it's very, I think from my understanding, it's a bit of an I don't want to say the term art house, but it's a lot more artistic than another obscure movie property like Guardians of the Galaxy, which, James Gunn, look what he spun that into gold, right? So yeah, I think
that's a heavy deviation from Marvel's current, just money-making formula.
Right. So I think this is, they're taking a chance on something, but I'm okay with them taking a chance because the story warrants it, right? I'd rather them take a chance and show me something different than what we've been seeing with a lot of their movies, which are kind of this cookie cutter formula. So I'm cool. I'm excited to go see it. I have seen some critics saying, it's the best sci-fi Marvel movie, but how many? There's only been a few of them. I do think, though, that having Dune so close to it has probably hampered it, maybe and potentially in people's eyes, that if you've seen both, I haven't seen Eternal, so I don't know, but how do you compare the two when they're both kind of like a sci-fi space, extravaganza movie, right? I don't know. So at any rate, I'm excited for it. Take a swing. It'll hit. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Does it hamper? Does it cause them to reevaluate whether they make a sequel? Probably not, but they may do a sequel that's a bit more in line with like how the Russos have done with the Avengers movies, right? So
I didn't actually read any of the reviews because I didn't really want to watch this movie with any preconceptions of it. If it wasn't for Chris, I wouldn't even have looked up the Rotten Tomatoes score, right? Because I didn't want to go in watching this movie with like a bad or a 51% like conception of it, right? But
right.
But when you read the reviews though, Rob, like what was bad about it? Like,
so I've avoided proper reviews. But I'm going to put this comment up here saying Disney stunted Eternals' future props by having it banned in more countries. So I wanted to address that because it's a twofold answer, Pat, is that there are a lot of people who are questioning some of these critics being too hard because it does feature gay characters and it does feature other, obviously a lot more of a diverse cast. And so you start to kind of wonder, are some of these critic reviews hate bombing it because they may have a personal prejudice against certain depictions in the film? I don't know. As it pertains to what Steve put up there with respect to Disney has already, hampered it because of its sale. That's not Disney's decision. He's referring to some of the Middle Eastern states, territories, like, Kuwait, I think Saudi Arabia, and maybe, I don't know if it was Dubai and somewhere else. They're refusing to show it. They wanted Disney to make specific cuts to remove some of the gay themes. And Disney said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to change these characters. And they say, well, then we're not showing you. So I think we have to be, sometimes you can paint thing with one, the same brush and say, okay, well, if it, makes here, they can make it there. But I don't think you can in this movie. And I think Disney should be applauded for not bending to another state's request to change any of the material. Because if it sacrifices for the story or for the characters, they shouldn't have to. I think it's ridiculous. So
I think that's kind of what happened with Captain Marvel. Remember, like there was all these people talking about how Captain Marvel kind of like just the entire movie. A lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of it was because people thought that it was kind of pandering, right? Even that scene in Endgame where all the female heroes were kind of together, like there was a lot of like, I guess, people complaining that it just felt like pandering, right? So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is the movie actually bad or the scene actually bad? Or is it just people kind of like you said, hate bombing the movie? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I expect it, guys, to be a divisive movie. Put it that way. I expect it to be, I think you're either going to like it or you're going to not enjoy it. I don't think you're going to find anybody in the middle camp. So I'm interested to see what you guys think. If you end up seeing it, I'm going Saturday morning. I'm excited to see it. I think it looks great. I really took to trailer number 2. That really got me. And I really liked the musical score. And I'm excited to see what this does to launch us into the more of phase 4. So I'm all for it. I like different types of movies, right? I like, them changing it up a little bit, I enjoyed Shang-Chi, but you could tell it was this taken out of the mold of all the previous origin stories, right? For the most part. So give me something different. I'm cool with it. And it'll, like I said, it'll either fly or it won't. So.
Yeah.
And just to comment on our comments, supposedly the trailer already explained it, Lewis. They can't interfere. They're only allowed to interfere if the deviants are involved. Watch the trailers, guys.
It's like what Jor-El said to Superman in Superman the movie.
Yeah. Well, even Justice League and Man of Steel are hovered around this type of rating, I think, right, Rob? Originally, when they dropped, it was like a split in the audience or whatever.
Well, definitely the Joss Whedon Justice League was really low.
The Snyder Justice League is generally rated higher, but the original one when it dropped, and Man of Steel, which is getting a lot of love nowadays, rested around this, right around the 50% mark, maybe lower for Justice League. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I'm still excited to go watch it, though, if we're still watching it, John.
Yeah. Hopefully the theater gets heat.
If there's a theater that's open, then we can watch it at.
I'm 51% excited.
Not 49%, maybe.
That, if
maybe
this
it's
is
the
you at
reverse.
51% excited, I hate to see you at 75. Holy moly.
He'll be waiting in line overnight then if it's 75%. Okay, all right, guys, that's the main story today. Let's move on to Pat's segment, Picks with Pat.
They're crap. 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 Mega crap.
Wow.
Still good.
Always,
Still good.
always.
Still good.
Until I think of a new one, that's gonna be
Still
it.
good.
Okay, so I don't have very much to kind of. It felt like it was a relatively slow news week in terms of things going on. Now, what I found was, let me bring these up. So these are a couple of set photos that were taken from Thor 4.
Yeah, Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Love the hammer, isn't it?
Pardon?
Whoa.
All
Right. No.
But yeah, it looks like it's Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth just kind of on a date. But if you look at their way they're styled, it might be a flashback scene. That's what everybody on the internet is saying. This is probably a flashback scene that they're filming. So we can kind of get the impression that there's going to be a flashback scene at some point during Thor 4.
Yeah, but that's because it's called Thor Love and Thunder, not Thor 4.
Nice.
But I believe that these are the outfits that were worn, were they not, during
Dark World.
number 2, Dark World, right? So yeah. So once
It's
again,
not number 2, Rob. It's Dark World.
Dark World. So once again, it's touche. Once again, it's Marvel trying to convince us that Thor: Dark World was good because they already did this. They did this in Endgame.
Let me just say, I used to think Dark World was the worst Marvel movie until about like 20 minutes ago. And then supposedly it's the Eternals now. So just throwing that out there.
I didn't mind Dark World, but at any rate, yeah, it's just Marvel trying to convince us that this was a better movie than we remember. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, but Natalie Portman's back.
Yes, and we all know what she's going to be. We've seen the videos, we've seen the videos. We know what happens. We see where she gets things that I'm not going to spoil it for people who don't want to know, but we see what happens. We know what's all. So yeah, I'm going to listen in Taika Waititi. I trust. So I want to see this movie.
He's in the bottom left.
Yeah.
There you go. Good man. What else? And the next little bit, I think Rob would have an opinion on this. Would you not?
I always have an opinion.
David Ayer posted a picture of this on his Twitter with the simple caption of "Jared killed it, but no one knows." In regards to Jared,
release the Ayer cut.
Yep, that's. I guess that's what we're going at, right? Supposedly there's a cut where, maybe, I don't know how poorly edited it was, like the theatrical release of Suicide Squad versus what it was, but he posted this. That's a long sigh, Rob.
So, okay, listen.
Unless there's like 2 hours on the cutting room floor, I don't see how it can work.
Didn't he mic drop? He had a whole rant about this and then kind of mic dropped and said, "I'm not going to talk about this ever again." Now
yeah, he did. And here he is doing it again.
But you can't say no one knows, and that you can't say something like, because this implies that he was very, very good, but it never made the movie. But then on the flip side, say I don't want to talk about it.
Right. So I think we've all read. I know we've talked about it in past podcasts. We've all read the stories though that apparently the main plot was a lot more Joker heavy, and then DC or Warner Brothers, I should say, not DC. Warner Brothers got in there and were like, we need to change the tone of this movie, and essentially not that David was removed from the set, but that they put somebody else kind of to oversee and in charge of redirecting the tone of the movie and adding a lot of shots and rewriting a lot of these scripts for reshoots. So this is why he says he has a whole different cut. Do I think it's a Snyder cut version? No, I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's where it's so different. But I would imagine if this Ayer cut is an extra, let's call it 40 minutes, I'm going to be generous. From all accounts, maybe 25 to 30 minutes of that might be more Joker stuff. But at this point, listen, it doesn't appear that they're going to be releasing it. It doesn't there's the momentum for this Ayer cut is nowhere near what it was for the Snyder cut, and I'm not a big fan of Leto's version of the Joker. He took a chance. You know, I think if you did away with the tattoos on his face and the grill on his teeth, if you made him less of a 90s gangster, a pimp gangster, then I think I could have got behind it, because he is a terrifying, he's a terrifying guy, Jared Leto. But what they did with his visual look was just the wrong direction for me. But that's just my opinion.
I mean,
he looks like your prototypical MMA fighter, full of tattoos.
Jason Mayhem Miller.
Yeah.
It's like an MMA fighter starter pack.
Yeah.
See, Fraser has a good point, right? Like you said that you don't think it's going to be that much different, but if the original intention was to have a lot of Joker in it fundamentally would feel like a different movie, would it not?
Yes. No, I agree. Yes. But
I would guess it's just the ending. I would guess it's that final scene is mostly some type of Joker conclusion, probably. That would be my guess.
I don't remember what happened at the end of Suicide Squad, by the way. So,
they fought like the Enchantress, and she turned into some giant thingamabob.
Yeah, and her
and
brother,
Joker's
right?
Starfish.
Joker was there, but they shot him down, shot his helicopter down, or something like that, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, and he rescued.
Didn't he grab Harley at the end, though?
Yeah, he rescued.
I think he
her.
tried to. Yeah.
No, he broke into the prison to rescue her. I remember he was
Oh.
in the prison guard outfit.
If I remember correctly, and I probably don't, there was only like 5 or 10 minutes of Joker in that entire movie. Maybe even less. Right. So they cut him out. Like they cut, like if there is a lot of footage, I don't know. Release the Ayer cut.
I mean, like,
sure.
Isn't Joker like the most like popular villain? Like they had the movie with Joaquin Phoenix that was highly acclaimed. Now they're gonna have, and they had obviously the Heath Ledger portrayal, and they had Jack Nicholson.
Actually, the Penguin. Chris.
It's
the
like
Penguin is most popular.
It's like,
get out of town.
Are we reaching like too much Joker? Like if they release this, isn't it gonna be another Joker thing to add? Like enough already, right?
No, people love Joker.
Yeah, people love Joker. Listen, look at all the Batman comics and everything. Like it doesn't.
I suppose
there are actually a lot of Batman comics. You're right. Like
yeah, and there's a bunch of Joker comics right now. So if it's gonna work, it's gonna work with Joker, I guess. So, but yeah.
All right, and like I was saying before, there isn't that. I don't have that much this week. I do because I do love toys. I do want to show everybody these that came out. Everybody, like, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you know, Rob, but I love my Ninja Turtles, and NECA released pictures of these new Ninja Turtles. They're like nobody scrubs that were in 1 episode or 3 episodes. Of the
I was gonna say there's no
green
Ninja
vest?
Turtles.
Is he a raccoon?
It's so great, right? It's like 2 random dorks that they released in like 1 episode, and then they're making toys of them, right? So it's like Ground Chuck and Dirtbag, and then like
he's awesome.
These are the best characters ever, man.
Ground Chuck,
the best. I don't know if you guys remember, but like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, Wingnut was actually a playable character. So there's your highly detailed action figure of our boy Wingnut.
Is he a Batman wannabe? Was that his gimmick?
I don't remember, man. It's been 30 years. But he's like he's just like a mutated. He's like a mutated bat.
That's what I'm saying. Was he like a Batman type character?
No, Man Bat.
It is. It's Wingnut and Screwloose, Steve. Wingnut and Screwloose. It is Wingnut. Yeah. But yeah,
right.
So, that's all I got. Like I said, short week.
Wow, really the bottom of the barrel with those toys there.
They're so cool.
All right.
Shut up.
Let's get into the news bits. The forgotten movie, Morbius. The trailer got released on Tuesday. This movie that no one was talking about except for us. I think we talked about it like maybe once or twice a week.
We made it happen. We made it happen.
It was us. It was us and Tyrese that made this happen. So they shared a trailer on Tuesday, and I believe you guys all watched it. It did have a lot of like shared universe Easter eggs. Maybe that's an intention by then. You guys can get into that. Maybe it arrives in theaters January 28th, 2022. We didn't do a reaction to this, so you guys watched it. What do you think? Excited?
Yeah,
has he got a Movember going on there? Is that like some stubble on his face?
My first reaction was his final vampire bat form looks really close to like the comic book. which is which was a pleasant surprise, which is why I brought up this picture of like the cover of his like book from a couple of years ago, because he actually looks like it, which was very impressive.
Does he have the deep V-neck? I didn't watch the trailer. Does he have the really deep V-neck?
No, I don't. But there's a lot more shots.
He doesn't have a costume yet.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't. Okay, because that's one of his trademarks. The really deep V-neck is one of Morbius's trademarks.
I thought it was the pale white vampire skin in the eye.
No, it's the really deep V.
All right, I'm not going to touch that one.
Rob, the Easter eggs. Talk about the Easter eggs, Rob.
Okay, well, let me just say, this when they dropped this trailer, it was like it's 3 minutes and like 10 seconds or something, and I was like, oh, these guys are idiots. I will eat my hat. I was like uber impressed with how good this trailer looks. Like, I was shocked at how much now I'm interested in seeing this movie, aside from it just being like a go-to joke for a movie that will never come out. So New Mutants, congratulations, you still hold on to that. But I seriously, I was super stoked to see. Like, I thought this looked way better than I was expecting. In terms of the Easter eggs, we see Michael Keaton. It looks like he's reprising his role from Spider-Man: Homecoming as the Vulture. We know that we see the Oscorp building in the background. We see the Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man poster on the wall. Morbius actually says, "I am Venom," like that. Like he changes his face, and there was something else. The Daily Bugle with the picture and stuff like that on the paper about Dr. Michael Morbius. So, like, there's a lot here tying it in, to the greater Spider-Man universe. I think obviously they've done that on purpose, especially with this movie coming out in December. Makes sense from a marketing perspective. They also didn't hold back. They showed a lot of Morbius in his vampire mode. I gotta say, guys, I was thoroughly impressed with this. I've watched the trailer a few times. Like, I was, I was way more impressed than I expected to be.
Yeah.
I also watched the trailer twice, but what happened was I clicked on trailer, and then about a minute and a half in, I realized I was looking at the trailer from a year and a half ago.
Right.
And
okay.
then I was like, wait a minute, let's go to the new one, because when you Google Morbius trailer, there's two. One from 2020 and one from like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
That tells you how long this movie was stuck in like limbo.
Yep.
When they released two trailers a year and a half apart, and all of a sudden the movie's out. But the new trailer, it does look good. I had no interest in this movie. I would say I'm 51% interested.
That's your magic number. Nice. All right. Thanks, guys. More trailer drops. So they dropped Disney Plus dropped a much anticipated trailer for the Book of Boba Fett. And it seemed to focus more on how the former bounty hunter is going to run his newly conquered empire. What's his name? Jabba the Hutt's former empire. I guess is that on Tatooine? Star Wars people, correct me. Do you like? Yeah. Do you like this direction that the show is going to take, seemingly from the trailer? Like him kind of.
So is it like Godfather but with Boba Fett, or like The Sopranos but with Boba Fett?
Yeah,
sure. Sign me up.
Well, I didn't see him in therapy, so maybe not. But is this the direction you guys like?
I am actually not interested in this at all, by the way. It kind of sucks. I watched the trailer in preparation for this discussion, but I was kind of like, I was way more excited about The Mandalorian than I am about this. And I don't hate Boba Fett, but I just feel like I don't know what the purpose of this show is.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine, his name is Neil, and I sent this to him because he's a huge Star Wars guy. I mean, not that he's close to how Andre is. Like, he doesn't read the books, but he's got he loves all the cartoons. He loves all this stuff. Like, he's super excited, and I cannot get anywhere close to that level of excitement for this. I think it looks great. I am so happy it is out there for people. And I see like Fraser's like, this looks great and this and that. Like, I'm so happy that it's out there for people who really want this. I don't really want this. I will watch it. No, I don't.
I think we've established this. You're even kind of like meh about Mandalorian at this point.
Yeah, like and that's why I said a couple weeks ago on our show, I might just be like the movie fan. Like, I think that's enough for me. I think this other stuff, this periphery of other TV shows, it doesn't. There's other things I want to direct my attention towards. I'll watch it, but but I'm happy for people who are excited for this. I think it looks good for those who really want to see this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty cool to get a live action Star Wars show every year. And it's high production value too. Like, they're putting a lot of money into this stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, cool. I don't know. I just feel like Boba Fett, like, he went from bounty hunter to ruling the underworld of Tatooine with respect. If you watch the trailer, it just feels, I don't know anything. I don't know.
I mean, he'll try. He'll try. I think he'll try, but he won't be successful. Yeah.
To like make a good, have like a legitimate, like, I'm a Star Wars guy. Here's my opinion type of thing. But I'm not that interested about this show.
You know, the one thing about Boba Fett as a character, though, that made him so flipping cool as kids growing up is that you saw him for a couple of minutes in Empire, and then he died like one
of the worst possible ways.
Right. Yeah. But it was everything in your brain that you were like, oh my God, Boba Fett was that. You would create your own adventures, and that the mysticism and the mystery surrounding that character is what made it so bloody cool.
It was armor design too.
Right. Yeah. But I wonder now, with his inclusion in The Mandalorian and now his own TV show,
he shoots his way up, by the way.
If it takes away a lot of that shine off of the character, because now you are filling in the pieces of the things that were better left to the imagination.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to, I guess, the question I actually when they had the Mandalorian announcement was like, I know Baby Yoda hooked a lot of people into that show. I don't know if this has that kind of hook. Like,
I'm gonna watch it for Ming Na. I'm gonna watch it for Ming Na.
Well, there's a surprise.
She deserves it.
The original Mulan from the cartoon.
Mulan Joylet Club. She's the only Disney, like, whatever they call it, the trifecta or whatever they call it, the animated princess.
She's in
Star Wars. Yeah,
John is
She was also in a Marvel, property.
Yeah, and she's also in John Spank Bank. We know, all right? We've talked about this.
No, you got to respect her for what she did at the time. And she kind of flipped herself into this role by meeting Deborah Chow at a party or something. She actually was on a podcast recently with I think Michael Rosenbaum or something like that. But gave us a lot of behind the scenes into just kind of stumbling into this character and being happy that they didn't get rid of her. So that's cool.
I really liked her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though. BT Dubs, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, she had I think the nickname of the
Melinda May.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, the Calvary, Melinda May.
Yeah, that's how good she is. Okay, all right, guys. Next bit of news. I guess in a bid to voice every cartoon character on the planet, Chris Pratt was announced as the voice of Garfield for a future Sony Pictures movie. I don't know if you guys remember Garfield the Cat as a comic strip back in,
I do not.
Hell yeah.
1978. They did do a movie. I think he was voiced by Bill Murray in that movie. So
2 movies.
2 movies. Bill Murray did both. Wow. Okay.
Which is funny because I don't know, Chris, I don't know if you remember, but the cartoon voice was the same voice as I think Peter Venkman from the animated
version,
which is kind of like it's a really funny, like
some really good casting. You're like,
that's
really easy for us. Let's get the actual guy that we based.
But what's he trying to do? Is he trying to monopolize? Like, is Charlie Brown next? And then where else is he going to go?
Wait, who are we talking about? Chris Pratt?
Pratt.
Yeah. Well, for those who are not in the know, he's doing the voice of Mario for a future series of the Nintendo character.
But Chris,
he's monopolizing all the voices.
Well, hang on. Did you guys not get the news yesterday? He's also in talks with Sony to take over the voice of Peter Parker in their spectacular Spider-Man reboot cartoon as well.
That's a lie, isn't it?
No, swear to God, that's through Deadline.
Did he put like a voiceover booth in his house and he just wants to?
I made a joke
or something.
I made a joke on the Heroes World chat that we have with Stu and that. I was like, this guy's going to be voicing Q*bert next, or Captain Caveman. And literally the next day, they announced that he's in talks to take over for a spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. Like, I don't know what's happening with Chris Pratt.
I think Chris Pratt has realized that if you become a voice actor, you get a job for a very long time.
Yeah.
Look at Peter Cullen. right? Look at
They tried to cut him out. They tried to cut him out in the Bayformers.
Yeah, with that Jake Bushy, your Bushby guy or whatever, who did the Peter Cullen. Yeah.
And who was the guy that played Nathan Drake? Wasn't Nolan North?
Yeah, Nolan North. Yeah.
Maybe he realized he doesn't need to act anymore. He can just get a booth and read his lines and go, "I hate Mondays." Boom, from top, job for life.
Oh, look at this. So, hey, Michelle, she says voiceover work is easy. Oh, I would never support that. I've known some people who do voiceover work, and it is actually quite difficult. That being
but
said,
you don't get shot on set.
But they can ship, meaning
joke.
that they can ship a voice booth to your house.
You don't even have to do that anymore. You could just do it like how we're doing it. You know.
No, but they could ship a box to your house, and you could just set it up in your living room, and it can be completely silent. But yeah, if you ever hear interviews with the Simpsons voice actors, they're like, "Oh yeah, limos come pick you up. You go in, you do your voice, and then limo comes back and drops you off."
Yeah, but you can only do it for so many hours a day because your voice gets shot.
Honey tea, honey lemon tea.
All right, guys. Next bit of news: Wonder Woman headed to Disney. In a way, Gal Gadot has reportedly signed on to play the evil queen in Disney's upcoming live-action movie adaptation of Snow White, joining Shazam 2 Rachel Zegler, who will also be playing Snow White. So
cool.
There's that news. Those live-action
remakes. Who's cast for Seven Dwarfs?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think
is it going to be a musical like
CGI,
Aladdin or
CGI?
Yeah.
Really? Do you think they're going to have a whole entire?
Maybe like Andy Serkis.
I don't think that they'll call them that. I don't think it's correct anymore to refer to little people like that.
So you can't call them dwarves anymore. So just go like Snow White and the seven little people.
Her would just be like in her seven friends.
And her seven friends.
All right. Speaking of Gal Gadot, she gave an update on Wonder Woman 3 through Wonder Woman 3, saying we're working on the script. So that's
not what it'll be better than 2, I promise.
No, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. They'll put a lot more work than it.
Like that already?
Oh yeah. It's being worked on.
Wonder Woman 3?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Patty Jenkins is working. I was really hoping her quote would have been, "The script's being worked on. Don't worry, Jeff Johns isn't doing it," because he wrote number 2, and oh my god, what a pant load.
Ooh, that was really bad.
Jeff Johns is a good comic book writer, but not a very good movie writer.
Yep.
There you go. All right. John's favorite actor, Daniel Day Kim, has been cast as Firelord Ozani in Avatar: The Last Airbenders live-action Netflix series. For any non-Airbender fans, this is essentially, I guess, the villain of the series. You can correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Pat might know.
I don't remember. Sorry, repeat the question. I'm doing something.
Firelord Ozani and Ozani.
It sounds like a bad guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No good guys ever called Fire Lord. So.
No, but in Avatar there was a Fire Nation.
There is a guy called Firelord that's a good guy.
Yeah. It says here. It says he's the ruthless, driven leader of the Fire Nation.
Okay, ruthless is never used to describe a good guy.
Everyone live up to his impossible standards.
The ruthless Superman endures to save the day.
Yeah, sounds like a typical Asian parent. He has impossible to live up to standards, especially to his teenage son Prince Zuko. Is that a?
Oh, so he plays Zuko's dad. Okay, I don't remember. Okay.
Jeez, Pat, put it together. Come on.
I forgot the name of Zuko's dad. Right? I forgot the name of Zuko's dad. But remember, the beginning of Avatar was, and then the Fire Nation attacked. So maybe he's the guy that attacks. That's from the Fire Nation doing the attacking.
Yeah, exactly.
Daniel Day Kim was also in Raya the Last Dragon, wasn't he? He was the father in that too. Is that like his new designated role to play animated fathers?
Well, this is a live
is he taking James Hong's work description?
Is he taking James Hong's work? That's so true.
Like, come on.
The Asian dad from every movie. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
James Hong
Kung Fu
has the
Panda
animated.
4.
yeah, and
Silly Poe's dad.
Sima has or Sima or whatever his name is the live action dad. So he's encroaching territory here. What's going on?
Yeah. All right, guys. It's just 2 more bits left. No Time to Die's Ana de Armas is in talks to lead John Wick spinoff Ballerina, which is a spinoff movie it's based on a character that you saw in John Wick 3 training to be an assassin in that ballerina, very Black Widow-esque, what is it, assassination
training facility. Yeah. Best part about James Bond for sure.
The
Yeah,
10 minutes that she was in?
Everyone's happy to hear that she's doing that kind of stuff, more of that kind of stuff, I think. And the last bit of news, live from New York, it's the master of Kung Fu, Canadian actor Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, will be hosting SNL November 20th with rapper, okay, John, help me, rapper Swati as musical guest. S-A-W-E.
Oh, man.
Sweetie. Shorty?
Okay. Sweetie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how out of touch the music scene I am. So yeah, it'd be good to see the good old Asian Canadian boy hosting SNL. It's a big deal, I think.
Hopefully, hopefully have some good sketches. Chadwick Boseman did a good run on there. The Rock's done some fun stuff on there. So let's see what he has to do.
Yeah, see his comedic chops outside of, I guess, he wasn't really funny in Kim's Convenience, was he?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I think so.
I've been enjoying SNL this season, and actually I watch it with my son. Like I recorded it and we watch it on Sundays because he's like really into it. But weirdly enough, he loves Weekend Update. So
Weekend Update, the best part of
that was always the best part.
Yeah, but it just surprised me because, like, anyways. But I'm looking forward to seeing Simu on it, and like I said, yeah, hopefully it. The Rami Malek episode was decent. It had some pretty good funny skits. So,
all right, there you go. All right, that's the news, guys.
He's the straight man. Kimchi was the funny guy.
Yeah, that's the news, guys. Thanks for listening, I guess. All right, let's get into this weekend. Just to give you a little pre-game. There's a couple things releasing. Regina King, John's favorite, directed a movie called The Harder They Fall. That's on Netflix. It also stars Idris Elba.
Yeah, she didn't direct it.
Oh, did she not direct it?
I think she's producer credit. She's starring in it.
Yeah, she stars in it. It's anyways, but she's in it.
Was that out this week?
Yeah, it hit yesterday. It hit Netflix yesterday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We should have chose that.
Yeah. Also, I know a bunch of people in the chat like this, but Dexter New Blood is premiering on Sunday, November 7th. This is 8 years after it initially went off the air, so it's a continuation of that show. I guess and a lot of press is saying that it's trying to make up for that horrible finale that they had. So maybe Game of Thrones in like 5 years can do that too.
Lewis wanted to know what came out on Netflix. It's The Harder They Fall. It's a Western with Regina King, Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors. It's a Western movie. Director is James Samuel.
Yeah,
when you load up Netflix, is number 1 on Netflix's top 10 right now.
Yeah, it's a Western. So.
Very cool.
Number 9 is Paw Patrol.
With those in mind, guys, any other
was a Paw Patrol movie up?
I don't know, but probably a new season went up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh man.
On that,
you forgot. I think you forgot. Eternals is coming out, right, Chris? So Eternals is probably on number 1 on a lot of people's list.
Are we talking about what we're doing this weekend? Yes, we're watching Eternals this weekend.
Yeah. What about Spencer? You don't want to see Spencer, Pat, with your girl Kristen Stewart?
No, I do not.
I didn't even bother mentioning that yet. You want to watch that? Go for it.
I think Red Notice also hits select theaters. I don't know where though.
You're not going to be able to see that in Canada.
Yeah, you just wait till Netflix in 2 weeks.
I just wanted to throw this out there. I had this prep for 5 minutes, ready to go.
Oh boy!
Right,
but
I just want to say
how many 38 reviews, man.
Yeah. So again, I'm 30.
That's actually a fair amount of reviews. I thought it was less.
Yeah. So,
okay, guys, what are you watching on the weekend for your Monday show?
Yeah, hey, thanks, Chris, for asking. So, Steve was wondering about the Army of the Dead prequel. It's called Army of Thieves, and we are actually going to be reviewing that. Now, this is produced by Zack Snyder, but it has no zombies in it. It stars, and I could bring up the information, but I'm not going to. But it stars the guy, the safecracker, from the Army of the Dead.
Directed by him too, right?
Yeah, so he wrote and directed this new movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And apparently it's super good. It's really funny and like wicked action. So no zombies anywhere to be seen. It's just really
about? There is zombies in it.
No, not in Army of Army of
Army of
Thieves?
Thieves, it's happening during the zombie apocalypse. So they
Okay.
It's in the same world. They'll show it. Yeah, you'll
Oh,
see
okay.
it.
I was told that I thought I had read that there weren't
Yeah.
any.
If,
Okay.
if you watch the trailer, I've watched the first little bit of it. It's taking place as like the one of the taglines is while everyone was distracted with zombies or whatever, they decide to pull.
Oh,
a
okay.
heist. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
So yeah, so we're gonna be watching that. So you could definitely check that out on Netflix, and then join John and I live Monday night at 8:15 on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and you can chat with us there. And hopefully, you guys all have time to watch it this weekend and enjoy it. Like I said, I've heard nothing but really good things about it, so I'm pretty stoked to watch it this weekend.
Yeah, and we'll probably touch on all the Army of Dead stuff too as well, because I don't think we ever really properly talked about that. So we'll probably discuss a little bit of everything. So
yeah, so join us there. And then the other thing for me, guys, as I said, is the Eternals. And I know this is not the weekend, but tonight I'm finishing the finale of Lock and Key season 2 with my son. So it actually hasn't been bad. If people have reservations about watching season 2 after season 1, it's been pretty decent. So that's me.
Frasier, Red Notice is a movie where The Rock and Ryan Reynolds combine to try and stop international thief Gal Gadot. Just throwing that out there. 37%.
it's it is what it is. I feel like we kind of expected that. Chris, you forgot one. It's a surprise hit debuting on the Hallmark Channel, and it's called Next Stop Christmas.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness, who stars?
Wait for it. Look who it's starring though. Leah Thompson as well as Christopher Lloyd. So I think this is something on your radar for sure.
Wow, reunion. Oh boy.
And almost Back to the Future Hallmark Christmas special. So get into the holiday spirit.
What was I thinking? Not searching for a Hallmark releases, guys.
Yeah, you didn't
I
check
know you guys
Hallmark's
are really
release
tapped into
schedule.
those types of movies.
Halloween is over, so yeah, Hallmark Christmas movies are probably coming up. Completely forgot. My real question is, how many of them will have DJ from Full House? That's the real question.
Well, we really are not experts in this field. We need to bring in our friend Timbo Slice, who is a Hallmark movie Christmas.
Is it part of the shared Hallmark universe?
That's only the Netflix universe, I think, is what he's all
No, I think there's a Hallmark shared universe.
No, I'm sure that you're right. There probably is. So if it's a shared universe and deals with the Christmas spirit, it's all Timbo is all about that. But you can check him out. I'm sure he'll be talking about that on his podcast, the Fight Inside podcast.
We talk about MMA
and about Hallmark movies.
All right. Okay. That's it. Any other things to say, guys, before we close it out?
No.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. What?
Yeah. Hey, listen, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. Chris, this is where and don't forget, tune into the Heroes World podcast Sundays. They drop. You check out your YouTube. Make sure you have your notification bells for when new episodes drop. Obviously, as we said, John and I do the Sidekick Show on Mondays. Andre and our friend Jesse are doing TGIFs, where they review the new comics that came out that week and talk about some really cool shit. So definitely check that out. Obviously, you guys know that we're here on Thursdays because you're watching us and listening to us now. And while we haven't had any recent trailer reactions, I'm sure there's a couple of big ones coming down the pipe in the next week or two that you might want to be paying attention to. So have your notification bells on and make sure you subscribe to the Heroes World YouTube channel.
Take care, everybody.